official, from today, on the record, I am endorsing the Reform Party. Now, a whole bunch of you now are like, what do you mean, Samuel? Why would you endorse the Reform Party? They're racist, they're scumbags, they're capitalist pigs, they're this, they're that, they're whatever. But here's the thing, their manifesto is just better. That's it. Forget what you think about Nigel Farage or this person, that person. Do you know what? Politics has become a popularity contest, I believe. And people that vote listen to the media and are brainwashed sheeps. And who controls the media? Follow the money. So what you have to do is you have to actually read people's manifestos. Actually see what they stand for. Know what you're voting for. Don't just think, who do I like? And Reform's manifesto, in my opinion, is hands down better. So in this video, I'm going to break down what their actual manifesto says, and I'm going to read some of the key points. I think it's brilliant. Now, listen, if you hate Reform, some of you are going to hate me. As it happens, I'm not really too bothered. But you're going to go, Samuel endorsed Reform. Yeah, and? He endorsed Reform and they're scumbags, are they? Listen, rather than saying they're scumbags, they're racist, they're this, they're that, how's about we actually debate and sit down and talk about their actual policies? Because I've spent a long time looking at their policies and their manifestos. So let's go through them. Number one, anybody who comes illegally via boats will be sent back. I mean, I personally think that the rule on immigration should be open borders. I am a fan of immigration. I'm married to an immigrant. Right now, I'm in Dubai. I'm a resident here of Dubai. I'm also a resident of the UK. I split my time up. So I love immigration. I'm all about free borders. But you know what I'm not about? Going into a country as a guest and not working and draining the resources of that country. That, in my opinion, is just wrong. So I love immigration. People say Samuel's a hypocrite because he says that he didn't house illegal immigrants in his hotel, but he travels and he wants to be able to travel freely. Yeah, what? That's because I'm all for open borders. What I'm not for going into a country. I mean, I'm in Dubai right now. If I got sick, would Dubai give me anything? No. But I'm a resident, so you can never be a citizen of Dubai. You can be a resident, but you are a guest, and that's good. So I think Reform have got it, I wouldn't say perfect, but there isn't a perfect system. But I think that it's certainly something needs to change. And I think that that's not a bad policy. We can argue about it, but that's one of their policies. Next, raise the tax-free threshold to 20 grand. What does that mean? Isn't it ridiculous? You can only get a salary of 12.5 grand tax-free, and that's it. How many years has it been 12.5 grand? Why has it not gone up in line with inflation? Why is everything going up, but not salaries or tax-free income that you can take? Why is that not going up? Because what that really means is that 12.5 grand that you can take tax-free, like back in the day, you could live on 12.5 grand. So you could take that out tax-free, live on it fine. And you want to take it any more, you've got to pay tax. But 12.5 grand, you can't live on that anymore. So saying that should be 20 grand, in my opinion, it should be more. But I think Reform, I think that's fair, I think that's good. Next, scrap net zero and start using our own reserves of oil and gas, making energy bills cheaper. Yes. Do you know how much energy prices have gone up? In the last 3-4 years, you're talking about 70% in the last few years. That means our bills have almost doubled just in the last few years. But salaries haven't. Abolish renters reform bill. I'm a fan of that. I think that the renters reform bill, I think tenants have got so much rights. I think that is, I think it's good. I think that now landlords are so unprotected in this country that no one wants to be a landlord anymore. Even me. My tenants are guests. I'm making my money now from serviced accommodation, hotels. I've got HMOs that I run where I'm not going to go into it on this video. That's for another video. But I think actually saying no. Renters reform bill, tenants need rights, but they've got enough rights. I think that's good. Inheritance tax. Abolish inheritance tax for estates under 2 million. Good. When you've worked hard all your life and then you die and you've paid tax on all your money, you've paid income tax, you've paid, if you've got a company, you paid corporation tax, or if you're an employee, you've paid pay away tax, national insurance tax, and then you die, that money that you've already paid tax on, you shouldn't pay tax again on inheritance tax. I think it's wrong. And I think saying that, yes, if it's under 2 million, no tax, and that's good. States above 2 million are taxed at 20%, which is half, by the way, what it currently is. It's currently 40%. So inheritance tax is suddenly much better. But here's the best part. Reform are saying, inheritance tax, if you want, you can opt to give that money to charity. I'm doing that anyway. So I think that's a great rule. Because at the moment what happens is the government charges loads of taxes, and then they choose what to do with that money. And it might be asylum seekers or this, that, the other, and we don't agree with it. We're being forced. Whereas they're saying, no, you can choose to give it to charity if you want, or you can give it to the government. That's just brilliant. Stamp duty. Stamp duty is going to be 0 if it's a property below 750 grand. Great. Because again, it's wrong. You know what happens? Property prices, do you know stamp duty is like 17% at the top of the threshold, and as property prices keep going up, we're getting blasted and blasted more and more with stamp duty. Stamp duty just went up, didn't it? Not too long ago. So yeah, 750 grand. That means most people that buy properties are paying 0% stamp duty. If it's between 750 grand and 1.5 million, you're gonna pay 2%. And anything more than 1.5 million, you're gonna pay 4%. So 4% is max stamp duty. Okay, cool, good. I like that. Scrap Section 24 tax. Yes. Which would encourage smaller landlords back into the market. Do you know what Section 24 tax is? It's the most stupid tax for landlords. It's encouraged so many landlords to sell up and not want to be landlords. But you know what most landlords have done because of Section 24 tax? Most landlords have just put their rents up. So all these stupid things that Conservative and Labour have been doing for so many years, what happens? Well, rents keep going up. And the tenants that are struggling are like, yeah, charge the stupid landlords. You do realise the landlord's just going to pass that back on to you, the tenant, which is why rents keep going up 10% every year. Come on, get real. So Reform Party are not just for the rich. They're not just for the comfortable. They're for the poor as well. Free market. Next, make it easier to develop land by adding fast track. Yes. I would rather just pay. Look, man, let me just pay for a fast track service. I want to build. It's going to get way more houses built. Love that. Corporation tax, reduce the main rate from 25% to 20% and then to 15% after 3 years. It's fantastic. It's going to help businesses. Oh, this one. Exempt small and medium businesses with profits under 100K from corporation tax. Suddenly all the small businesses are going to thrive and prosper. Brilliant. Abolish business rates for high street SMEs. Do you know what this will mean? Because all these little small businesses in the shops and stuff, you know, the fish and chip shops, all these small businesses, stationery shops, they're getting blasted with business rates. The business rates are killing them and they're closing down. And as a result, that means that now the high streets are just dead. Obviously, online shopping that's the major factor, but combine that with business rates, shops are just dying. This will bring back the chip shops, the stationery shops, all the shops in the villages and the high streets. It's going to bring them back alive. It's just clearly will. Next, reform social housing by prioritising people born in this country first. To me, that makes sense. So I am endorsing reform. Now, if you disagree with any of their manifestos, I'd love to hear what you disagree with. I'm not saying I agree with everything in the manifestos, and that was just a whole bunch of the core points in the manifesto. But I'll tell you something, it's the best we got. If we want to get the great back in Great Britain, I think reform are definitely the best option that we've got by a mile. So I want to get behind reform. I want to support them, encourage them publicly, make them better. If there's things that we don't agree with reform, then we can tell them and maybe help be part of it. You shouldn't be moaning about politics. You should be getting involved to try and make the country better. I've met Nigel Farage twice. Good experience. I think he's a pretty stand-up bloke. But it doesn't matter if you like Nigel or not. What matters is what do you think of the actual manifesto. So yeah, I'd love to know what you think in the comments. But for me, I'm endorsing and voting for the Reform Party publicly. And let me tell you a final point that's very interesting. And that is this. In Dubai, in the Middle East, you know where all the wealthy people are investing? In the UK. Isn't that interesting? The UK are complaining and saying, oh, it's hard over here. But they're all invested in the UK. Because right now, the UK is on its knees and everybody knows it. Right now, the economy is struggling, people are struggling, and as a result, the markets, you can get a deal. That's not going to be the case. Look at history. Look at history. The wealthy people come in and buy in times of struggle. Most millionaires are made in uncertain times. So I personally would suggest, don't moan, get rich. I'm helping people invest strategically in UK property right now, not just buying, but also getting purchase option agreements, because there's so many tired landlords. You can buy with a £1 deposit and agree to pay the rest down the line with an option. There's so much you can do. And although the taxes are terrible in the UK right now because they're so high, believe it or not, the people that make the rules, I mean, look at Angela Rayner, Vice Prime Minister. What happened? Well, she cheated the taxes, didn't she? Illegitimately as well. If she did that illegitimately, imagine what they do legitimately. You know how many loopholes there are? You can do with SAS pensions, capital gains tax, how you can mitigate around it, stamp duty, how you can actually, without doing what she did, how you can actually legitimately HMRC approved. There's so much you can do. And I've done videos like that and I've shared on my YouTube channel. But let me tell you something, if you wanna learn from me about what to do and how to find good deals right now and how to structure it, make it tax efficient and take advantage of the opportunity, I'm gonna be running a webinar, free online training, which will last about an hour and a half. If you wanna join me on that, I'm gonna be sharing exactly what I'm doing in the UK and how I'm making money and how the wealthy people from Dubai are also making money in the UK and how you can too. So I'd highly suggest, put aside an hour or so, join me on that because it's gonna blow your head off. I'll leave a link in the description, get registered, and I'll see you on the upcoming online, completely free training.